The following is an archive procured by the Mechanica Shoals and constructed under the authority of Architectic Mechanica. This archive will include a record version of all transmissions collected by the Scully Mechanica. Note that until further established, this archive has no synthesizers beyond what I have this time. As such, I will be attempting to recreate the assumed tones and speech of the characters presented. After first making an entrance into the system of ages a full 100 days before this report was collected, on the 642nd day of the 999th year in the 41st millennium, zero error for warp travel. In SOC Journal, Segmentum Solar, distributed under Imperial Authority, date 025-214-999-M41. Reporter Luna Tyson, accredited Imperial Press. Triumph on Torrigo, plan secured from xenos and heretic threats. Governor declares victory, acknowledges the Emperor's Angels of Death, Tigero. In addition, in official address from the Governor Hall this day, Governor Severian Hale, standing alongside Commissar Hugo O'Coffey and General Tavares Vaughn of the Planetary Operations Detachment, confirmed that the planet Tigero is now free of the Xenos menace and heretic threat. According to intelligence and battlefield reports, the last remaining Tau forces have been driven from the planet's surface and void space. The retreat marking the final dissolution of the operational foothold they held on Tigero. Simultaneously, the lingering pockets of Terran bioforms, remnants from the Great Incursion on 24-222-999 and 41, have been eradicated through coordinated Imperial action. Governor Hale also declared that Scully Mechanica Biodecoder, a rogue Mechanicus faction suspected of allying with Tau, has abandoned the planet entirely. They are no longer a threat to Tigero or its people, the governor assured. His voice steady before the gathered press and picked captured senators. In his statement, Governor Hale extended his gratitude to the citizens of Tigero. You have endured fear, privation, and uncertainty, yet you placed your trust in me and in the forces of the Imperium to safeguard your homes. Today, that trust has been rewarded. We used every resource at our disposal to protect the welfare and safety of this world. The Emperor watches over us all. Turning to his right, Governor Hale placed a hand upon the pauldrons of Commissar Coffey and General Vaughn. These men have borne the burden of command in the darkest hour. Their leadership, courage, and unyielding resolve ensured that Tiger's flame did not gutter under alien shadow. Then, fixing his gaze upon the large holothic monitor, its transmission being relayed to orbit, the governor addressed forces not present in the hall, but whose deeds had shaken the fate of Tigero. I thank the Second Company of the Blood Angels, the Blooded, and Captain Tron for their invaluable assistance in defending this planet. The legend's true. The Emperor's Angels of Death are real, and they walk among us still. The marks of the official confirmation that an Adepts Astartes company was deployed to Rio in recent months, and in recent speculation. Their actions in the Thylos 7 engagement and the Ash Ridge Fault assault appear to have broken the Xenos Heretic Alliance and driven them from Imperial soil. Citizens are encouraged to resume daily life in accordance with the governor's directives, and to remember that the price of the victory was bought with the blood of soldiers, guardsmen, and space marines alike. The Insult Journal joins in saluting those who stood against the alien and traitor. For the Emperor, for the Imperium, truth through authority, distributed by the Insult Journal, Tigero subsector. Following this, many reports were procured from communicating devices within the system. This following document was retrieved from Servoscope using the news sphere and was identified as Unit Bouchard. Recording 025233M41, followed by Bouchard, a faithful servant assigned to the Second Battle Company of the Blood Angels. Subject: Testimony of Captain Zikariel Tron, Master of the Second Company. By the command of the angels and the will of the Emperor, I record these words of Captain Zekiel Tron, that the deeds of the Second Company be remembered and preserved for all time. Entry: We have remained within the Aegis system for 9 days. The system is comprised of 10 worlds, each of unknown loyalty and standing within the Imperium's light. On 025-225-41M, Alpha Patrol, commanded by Lieutenant Ezekiel Titus, made contact with hostile forces upon the planet Edwards Genitor. The xenos encountered were of the Tau, likely the same cadre that opposed us during our campaign upon Tigro, and a contingent of Eldari. Their alien blades turned alongside the Firecast. Both xenos factions were engaged in combat with an Adepts Mechanicus research detachment of an unknown origin. Lieutenant Titus ordered Alpha Patrol to support the Mechanicus forces. With the might of the Predator Annihilator, Angel's Fury, and the valor of our squad, the Tau Riptide was destroyed. Eldar objectives were denied and seals were broken. The Mechanicus contingent, however, offered no discourse nor oath of allegiance. Their attackers resumed their mysterious tasks and departed without acknowledgement. Their silence remains troubling. The loyalty of the sector has not yet been confirmed. While Aeologist Inquisitor bears the appearance of an Imperial stronghold, the Voxcasting and news reports, such as the INSOC Journal dispatch of 025-227-41, affirm ties to the Imperium. I cannot yet vouch for its faithfulness. Caution is demanded. We have remained undetected since the aforementioned engagement 5 days past. For now, the enemy does not know the Blood Angel's launch. In preparation for further contact, I have ordered the implementation of expanded intelligence and counter-xenos instructions during training regiments. Our brothers now study the stratagems and patterns of the Tau, the Adepts and the Eldari, that they may be ever ready to bring with judgment upon those who threaten the Emperor's dominion. The second company shall continue its silent vigil within Aegis until commanded otherwise. End of the entry. These words, spoken by Captain Tron, have been faithfully transcribed by Ushar, eternal servant and chronicler of the Second Battle Company. The following is recovered from local Fireside Enclave contingent. Names of important figures are going to be kept redacted until allowed to be released by the Mechanica Lubris. This is redacted. Rank Fireblade. We have failed to protect the tower, but have gained insight into what the Blood Angels and Ultramarines' tactics are, and what troops they are using. Our strike team has taken damage, as well as the Ghost Shield battlesuit. We request a Riptide battlesuit and more Fire Warrior teams to aid our troops on the advice of our Mechanicus allies. Our special project and me are unharmed. The following message, received nearly after this, from Manipulous Copper Sheet to Archmega Swiftfront in response to the engagement. Report status: returning. Nocturne Scorchers, alive. Northwind Hounds, damage. Scullius Crossbows, scathed. Wind Whisperers, alive. Tech Breach for the French, alive. Objectives: secure the tower. Failed. Withdrawal, successful. Scout enemy units and tactics, success. This ends the report made for the first engagement and a following engagement, though no INSOC journal had been reported until later in the Ageless system. The archive will continue to release compact and informative recordings of the information for situations that we can record and release to other adepts of the Mechanica. End recording.